Hello, welcome to this new video. My name is Martina Vincenzi and I am the founder of the VIP Flight Attendant Academy Private Jet Coach. Today I would like to talk to you about documents and exactly, to be very specific, passport and visas. This is something very important for private aviation. And, sometimes you need to get some information about that. And that's why I have decided to do this video about this very interesting topic. So if you have the real luck to have a double citizenship between two countries, and you probably hold two passports or two different countries, you're gonna use both of them. The more passport you have, the better it is. So you can have two passports with you. Otherwise, it's always very helpful to have two passports anyways. So even two passports of the same nationality, okay? This is because us, as aviators in the private aviation industry, we are a kind of a special case, okay? So obviously, we do not decide where to fly. Usually, the destination is always chosen by our customers, and they might travel because of business, because of leisure, because of family, or whatever other reason. So you do not really get to choose your destination. Sometimes it might happen that you get into a country, and obviously you're gonna use your passport to gain access into the country, to have the rights to actually enter into the country, and this operation is called immigration clearance. And then let's say you stay into this country for 3, 4, 5 days, whatever, and then you fly into another country, but the second country has some political conflict with the previous one, with the first one where you have been. So if you get into this second country using the same passport where there is the stamp of the access to country number 1, when you arrive in country number 2 and you try to clear immigration and they see the stamp of country number 1, they might decide to deny you the entrance because you have been there before. It doesn't have anything to do with you, and it doesn't have anything to do with your nationality. It's because the two countries are in conflict, political conflict together, okay? Between them. So because of this reason, and to gain, free of movements worldwide, is actually a requirement that many private jet operators ask to their employees to gain a second passport. And therefore, you can use one passport for country number 1, and you can use passport number 2 for country number 2. And therefore, there are no longer problems regarding immigration clearance. Also, another reason why we need to have two passports, it is actually a real benefit to have a second passport, is because when you have to require a visa, and we're talking about business visas, so the visas that we normally have in our passport are visas that gain us the access into the country for multiple times, and maybe for a longer period of time, for example, 1 year. So to get those visas issued, normally by the embassies, you need to ship your passport or to bring physically your passport to the embassy, and your passport will be kept in the offices of the embassy for 3, 4, 5 days. So this is the time that they need to issue the visa and stamp it on your passport. So this is like a permanent visa, a sort of a permanent visa, with an end date. So in this case, what are you gonna do? Because your passport is engaged, is busy with the embassy to get the visa, you cannot fly. So in order to be able also to grant continuous movements and continuous work, you need to have the second passport. So why passport number 1 is busy, is engaged, at the embassy to get the visas that you required, you still have passport number 2, and you can continue flying to wherever is your destination, okay? So these are the two main reasons why business aviation aviators do require, or is better for them to have a second passport. If you can or cannot have a second passport of the same nationality, this is entirely up to your country's rules, and therefore they have the power to say yes or no. If you need any suggestion, or if you want to know what is the procedure to get a second passport, please get in touch with me. I will be very happy to share with you some information regarding it. And the second topic that I wanted to talk to you about are the visas. So a visa is technically an endorsement that allows the passport owner, is an endorsement that will be visible on your passport and will allow the passport owner to get access into the territory, to stay into that country or to leave that country, okay, for a specific period of time. So you have two types of visas. One, it could be just a normal stamp on your passport, and this stamp you acquire at arrival. You know, when you do immigration clearance, they will check your passport and they will stamp it and you can go. Same when you leave the country, they will stamp it again for exit and then you can go. Some other countries, or also depending what is your passport, which country, how powerful is your passport, you might require to get a stamped visa prior arrival. For example, China, for example, India, for example, Russia, for example, America. I'm talking for European passport towards America. So you need to get this printed visa on your passport. These are the visas that I was talking about earlier, that you have to, they must be issued by the embassy. So you actually have to physically leave your passport at the embassy. I normally just ship it. With, of course, register mail, so they will receive my passport. They will do whatever they need to do. They will stamp the visa on one of the pages of my passport and ship it back to me. And now I have my visa. So as you can understand, visas are really important. If you do not have access to that specific country because you don't have a visa, well, this is very, very limiting, obviously. You can be used to fly only on selected countries. And again, because we do not really decide by ourselves where to go. And sometimes the destination is shared with us kind of on a last moment. If let's say I don't have an American visa and I'm busy flying with a company, but I do not have the rights to get into America because I don't have the visa. And now there is a flight to America. They have to offload me, obviously, because I cannot get to America. Otherwise, I won't be able to clear immigration, and then the company will get a fine, and then, we get into different diplomatic troubles, so it's really not a good idea to do that. So it's really, really important, and even for me as a freelancer, the more visa I have, the more interesting I can be, because they can use me for whatever country, for whatever flight, for whatever destination. Most important visas, so talking from a European passport, most important visas that you should have, American visa, Chinese visa, Indian visa. Then our passport, European passport, so any countries within the European Union, is actually quite powerful enough for you that you do not actually need a stamped visa, a printed visa. You can just get a stamp on your passport. So it's actually fairly easy, and with these three visas, I would say it's good enough. Who is responsible for the visas? Well, if you are an employee, so you are employed by a private jet operator and you have a normal contract of employment, they will pay for the visa for you. They will also, put a note in their system as a reminder for your visa expiring date in order to, prepare yourself to get the appointment to the embassy to renew the visa eventually. For example, the Chinese visa lasts for just 1 year. So it's like a yearly procedure that you have to do. If you are a freelance like me, well, the visas are on my expenses and I am fully responsible for them. So I have to take care of them. Unfortunately, after COVID, this is a little bit complicated. Like I cannot, as a normal single person, I cannot go to the embassy and ask them to get a visa because I need to justify. Again, we're talking about business visas, not touristic visa that I can get them as many as I want, as much as I want by myself. If it is a business visa that I'm gonna ask for, I need to justify why I'm asking for a business visa. So I find it after COVID way more difficult to get a visa if you are not employed or if you don't have the help from an organization to support you with these things. So anyway, if you are employed by a private jet operator, they will take care of the visas. Visas are on their expenses, and you simply have to, they will even take the appointment to the embassy for you. You just have to organize yourself in order to get the passport ready, choose which passport you want to send for the visa. Remember to keep maybe, sensitive countries' visas into two different passports, so they are not mixed, they are not printed together on the same passport. Otherwise you are, again, from the start, you have the same problem as before with country number 1, country number 2, and the entrance would be eventually denied. So it sounds, I know it might sound a little bit complicated. It's definitely a very interesting topic, the visas and the passport and whatever you need to have for your job as a VIP flight attendant or VIP pilot. I hope this can clarify a little bit. Again, if you need any help or if you want to know the procedure to get a second passport for Italian passports, I'm very happy to help, and just let me know. In the meantime, I send you baci, and for whatever question you have regarding business aviation, flight attendant life, crew life, private jets, and the corporate industry, do not hesitate to reach out.